Imagine that you have a kid. This kid wants to spend time with you as much as possible. This kid wants to be listened to. This kid wants to be kind of entertained and paid attention to. Yet what you do is all the time avoid this kid. All the time scrolling on your phone. All the time consuming some content, whether that is YouTube or Netflix. Watching porn. Eating mindlessly. How is your relationship going to be with this kid? Probably is going to suffer. Probably is going to be something not right. Probably is going to be a little bit bad, at least. We need to realize that we are the parent of us and we are our own kid. The example with the kid is the relationship that we have with each other. Because how 90% of people live nowadays is constantly distracting themselves and avoiding themselves. Most people go to work and the first thing they do after getting back home from work is turn on the TV, turn on the Netflix, turn on the YouTube, watch some porn, play some video games, eat mindlessly some fast food, and scroll on their phones. This is what most of the people do nowadays. Constant distraction. But if you want to distract yourself from something, it means that subconsciously you're running away from it. And unfortunately, we are running away from ourselves. And that's the example with a kid, which is very, very clear to probably most of you. When it comes to us, it's not so clear. When it comes to us, it's not so clear why we don't have a good relationship with ourselves. But it makes sense, right? If we distract ourselves from ourselves, if we run away from ourselves, of course our relationship is going to be bad. Imagine raising a kid like this. Always avoiding it. It wants to speak to you, you avoid it. You distract yourself, you go on your phone. The moment you start spending more time alone with yourself, alone with your thoughts, you realize that it's not so scary. Because subconsciously you run away from spending time only by yourself, without doing anything, just being by yourself. Because if you cannot live a single moment without distracting yourself with something, then you're running away from something. Then your base level, your base state is not good enough. Your base state is so bad that you cannot even stay with yourself for 10 minutes. You can make this practice. Just stay with yourself for 10 minutes. See what comes up. See what kind of thoughts come up. Is it that bad? Can you stay with yourself? Can you stay for 10 minutes with yourself? Let's say watching the wall, watching the wardrobe, watching outside, without distracting yourself with your phone or some kind of technology. It's crazy. And as I gave you the example with a kid or with a partner, it's a common sense, right? But when it comes to us, it's absolutely unthinkable. Just to spend time with yourself. Can you go for a walk without your earphones? Because most people nowadays are listening to music all the time, all the time, all the time. Guys, are you avoiding the silence? Is the silence alone, one-on-one with you, scary? Because it shouldn't be. You should feel nice in your own presence. You should feel nice by default. And you can do these activities, of course, but just building up on the good pace level. Not trying to distract yourself. It's not the thing, it's the place where it's coming from. It's not that you watch Netflix, it's the place where it's coming from. If you watch Netflix to distract yourself from your shitty state, then it's a bad thing. If you watch Netflix because you feel good and there is some nice series on Netflix, why not go for it? But you need to be aware and you need to be honest to yourself. Why do you do this at every single moment? Because most people live unconsciously. Most people just do things on autopilot. The turning point comes when you understand why you do certain things, when you understand why you feel a certain way. And if you analyze your daily life, you probably see, at least if it's not the whole day, you'll see parts of your day where you completely unconsciously distract yourself out of existence. Aren't you after the feeling of just waking up and being happy by default, being happy by yourself? This comes from strengthening the relationship between you and you. And how does this happen? How would you strengthen a romantic relationship? You're going to spend, of course, you cannot talk by yourself. If you want, you can talk with yourself, but you're going to talk with your partner. You're going to spend time with them. You're going to do some nice activities. You can even try to hang out with yourself. Go and take yourself for a coffee. Go and take yourself for a walk. Go and take yourself for training without earphones, without constantly having noise in your ears, constantly having something in front of your eyes to always watch. Because chances are that you're probably running away from yourself, and this is never, never, never a nice relationship. Either if it is interpersonal with multiple people or it's the relationship with yourself. Because the relationship with yourself is all you have. It colors, it defines all the other relationships, all the other aspects of your life. And you need to feel good by default with yourself. But this comes after spending time with the kid. The kid doesn't love you anymore because you avoided for so long. This little voice in your head, sometimes it just wants to speak up, even if it's bullshit. If you let it speak up for 10 minutes, it's going to speak out the bullshit and it's going to be clear. But the moment you get these bullshit thoughts, you want to run away from them and they get stuck forever, forever, forever. And that's why you constantly have these negative thoughts because you need to let them go.